A diplomatic storm is brewing in Finland as US President Donald Trump set to hold meeting, yes, with the Biafran's Prime Minister in exile, yes, BLGIEPM Simon Ekpa. Yes, this begs the question, what does Trump know and why is he getting involved in things of the Biafra? First of all, we already know why Trump is getting involved or why he wants things or is siding the Biafra people. Okay, my people, without further ado, welcome back to Expose News. Welcome back to your number one YouTube channel. If you're joining us for the first time, remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications too. All right, without wasting your time, we'll be going into the news direct. Simon Ekpa, a controversial figure, yes, in the Biafra independence struggle, has been set or has been at the center of international debates over self-determination, terrorism allegations, and political persecution. While his followers hail him as a freedom fighter, which PM Ekpa is indeed a freedom fighter, the Zoo government insists that he is a threat to national security and accusing him of inciting violence in the southeast. Of course, that is what they say. And my people, one thing I would always talk about whenever we come to this particular talk of this propaganda they are pushing is, why would a man still incite violence in a place that he is fighting for freedom? A big question that I want you to answer, all those that are pushing this rubbish. All right, following fresh attacks in Biafra land and reports linking pro-Biafra forces to recent clashes with Zoo troops, pressure has increased and has mounted on Finland to take a decisive action against PM Ekpa. Diplomatic sources suggest that Zoo authorities have been lobbying for his arrest or extradition, fueling expectations that Finland may soon act against him. But just as tensions reached a boiling point, an unexpected force has entered the equation: Donald Trump. Now, this begs the question, just like I talked about earlier on, why is Donald Trump getting in? Why is Donald Trump getting involved? Let us go into the details. Let us still talk about it. In a move that has turned political people, those political analysts, Trump's team has confirmed that he is closely monitoring the situation and is preparing to intervene. Reports suggest that Trump sees Ekpa's case as a global test of freedom, democracy, and the rights to self-determination issues he has repeatedly championed on the world stage. President Trump is aware of what's happening and he's concerned, a source close to the US president stated. This is bigger than just one man. This is about the suppression of voices fighting for their freedom. Trump's planned meeting is expected to include international human rights organizations, key political figures, and pro-Biafra activists, setting the stage for a major diplomatic showdown. If Trump decides to openly back PM Ekpa, it could shift the global conversation on Biafra struggle and put the Zoo government under intense national scrutiny, which is the truth of the matter. Because of course, if once PM Ekpa comes up and says or makes such comment, it's going to be on another level. While we're still talking about that, chaos has broken in Finland as protests have erupted. He said news of Trump's intervention has sparked a wave of reaction across Finland. Zoo demonstrators have taken the streets demanding Ekpa's immediate arrest, or immediate extradition, chanting slogans against Biafra's secessionist movement. They insist that Finland must not harbor individuals they claim are responsible for instability in Nigeria. Meanwhile, pro-Biafra supporters have responded with counter-protests, warning that any move against PM Ekpa would be seen as an attack on Biafrans worldwide. The situation is so volatile that Finnish security forces have been placed on high alert, with extra measures taken to prevent clashes between opposing groups. We will resist any attempt to silence our leader, one Biafra activist declared. If Finland makes the mistake of betraying Ekpa, millions of Biafrans will rise, and the betrayal would mean to extradite PM Ekpa to PM Ekpa to the zoo government or to Nigeria. Continuing, what is next? What using words to cover up? Because that is what they know how to do. My people, now so e go just be o, na so this man come out just dey talk, dey talk, dey talk, dey talk. And wetin I dey try explain give una be say anybody wey do wetin e no suppose do, anybody that goes to mess up near Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or ends up as a saboteur like this particular man, no matter what you are supposed to do or how you were supposed to represent him, whether as a lawyer or as a friend or as anything at all, as a soldier, as a BLA member, anything you were supposed to do, and you end up turning into a sabo, it will hit back at you. Enweghị kwuru that will stop this particular thing, because a saboteur will always remain a sabo. You cannot stop being one, and that is the truth of the matter. This particular man you represented, just like he said in his long notes, they are called upon and you started representing. And then this particular beginning that he even talked about in his confession, or in his begging for forgiveness, was that first of all, as he has been silent throughout this play, you know that his silence means that he don't actually hit her. That is what it means, because it has gotten to him to the extent that we ourselves have now recognized this man's faults and everything he has said. And we know that PM was among the main people that came out and said, you see this particular age of man, this particular man has done this particular man has done this, and brought out everything he had gone against. My people, is not everybody that can stay in this fight, and that is the truth of the matter. This fight is not for everybody, and that is the truth. If you know that you are not capable of standing firm where you are, the propaganda and everything they will use and come against you, this government, they are ready to put everything against you. And it might not be your intention, my people. If it no be your intention, but the kind of oppression where you don't get will change your mindset and will make you want to do the opposite. And that is the truth of the matter. And by the time you have changed and you have done wrong, we will not forgive you, because what you are supposed to do, you did not do it. And that is the truth of the matter. And you see this particular man, a Jofo, that was supposed to represent and do the needful. Instead, the man aga na-eme ihe ọzọ, ihe gbasara ya, just connived with the IPOB DOS and the federal government and did whatever they could, they knew how to do, and then left it. And they thinking that it would be something that would end up to be fruitful for them. Now, maybe they have decided not to give him money, or his money has not entered, or they have what abandoned him, they have left him behind. Something must have happened that has made him maybe come back to his senses, to realize that, oh, I have actually done wrong, or this thing I did does not make sense. And that is the truth. These people will always end up finding out that they messed up. And by that time, all the lot too late. This man is a cancelled man. There is nothing that will make us look at this man and think we trust with him again, because he has messed up during the time that he was given. And that is the thing about this fight. My people, the amount of things they have thrown at people, they have thrown at every single person that looks like, or that is thinking like the person wants to like support the movement. Immediately they have thrown a lot of arguments, they've thrown a lot of backfiring on the person, just to make sure that this person does not succeed, or does not continue on that particular thing the person has decided to do. You see? And that is what these people have been doing from the beginning of time. And I believe that is what they used to convert the IPOP people. to themselves, the IPOB and the IPOB DOS, as they've turned around to start messing up, together with the Southeast governors that have been messing up. Every single one of them, make I no generalize, but most of them have messed up to the core and cannot even be called people that are trustworthy. And that is the truth of the matter. That is the fair truth of the matter. Because when we cannot have people that are even trustworthy, when we cannot have our leaders that are trustworthy, or politicians that can, in their own part, be steadfast and do the things, stand firm in some kind of things that will strengthen this fight, then we cannot move on. And that is the truth. We cannot move on. We cannot actually have hope that this particular person is siding us and pull through with this person. But of course, that is what we have. That is the unity is what we lack, but it is not going to stop us. We would use what we have to get what we want. And until we get what we want, we are not backing down. And so, yes, my people, this is it. This is what we have for this particular broadcast. This is where we come to the end of this particular broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications too. Thank you.